These are the answers for Fact File 2.3 Alkanes. Question 1. Which of the following is a chain propagation step in the chlorination of methane? And just looking at these equations, it's fairly easy to rule some out because we know we haven't seen any of these hydrogen radicals that appear in these three in any of the equations. So those are definitely not correct. So it is C. Next, we have 3 pentanes, which are theoretically possible and all occur in natural gas and petroleum gas. Their structures, their trivial names, and their boiling points are shown below. So we have normal pentane, which you can see is just a long chain molecule, isopentane, which has a methyl group coming off the side, and neopentane, which has 2 methyl groups. And their boiling points 36, 28, and 9 respectively. So it says then the 3 pentanes are regarded as structural isomers. Explain this term. There are 2 marks for this. So first mark is going to be for saying they're the same molecular formula. And the second mark is for saying they have different structural formula. So that's 1 mark for each of those points there. Okay, next part of the question. Deduce the IUPAC names for isopentane and neopentane. So let's go back up the table here and take a look at those. So isopentane and neopentane. So looking at isopentane first, if we look at the longest chain here, it's 4 carbons, and the methyl group then is on the second carbon, so that's going to be 2-methyl butane. And then this one, the neopentane, it doesn't matter which way we go, that way or that way, the longest chain is still going to be 3 carbons. So if we just look at it going this way, then we look at numbering these 2 side chains, the methyl chains, and it doesn't matter if you go from either end, it's going to be on carbon 2. That's going to be 2, 2 dimethyl. And then 3 is the longest chain, so propane. So your isopentane is 2-methyl butane. And the neopentane would be 2,2 dimethyl propane. Now explain why the pentanes have different boiling points. Well, the boiling point is affected by van der Waals. So van der Waals forces are, we're going to say then they're less effective or weaker in branched structures. And in this question, you would be getting 1 mark for mentioning van der Waals and 1 mark for mentioning the branched, or the fact that they're weaker in branched structures. So then all 3 pentanes burn in a limited and in a plentiful supply of air. Write the equation for the complete combustion of pentane. So pentane C5H12 plus, we know it burns in oxygen, is going to give us carbon dioxide and water. Now, the numbers of carbon dioxide are going to be 5 and water is going to be 6. And then that gives us 10 oxygens from the carbon dioxide and 6 here, so that is 16. So that means we need 8 oxygen to balance. And then in the case of the incomplete combustion, again C5H12 plus O2, and that's giving us in this case CO and H2O. And we know we're going to have 5 carbon monoxide and 6 water. So the question is then, how many oxygens do we need? I'm just going to move my oxygen over a little bit so I can write it in more clearly. So I've got 5 from the carbon monoxide and 6. That gives me a total of 11. If I divide that by 2, that's 5.5. And it's perfectly acceptable to use halves in these balanced equations. So which one of the following compounds will produce equal volumes of carbon dioxide and water vapour when burnt completely in oxygen? We want to look at the number of carbons and hydrogens in each one, and they should be the same, because we've seen in these equations here the number of carbons and the number of hydrogens is just going to be the same as in the compound. We have, of course, double the number of hydrogens in the compound that we have of water molecules, because it's H2O. So we're looking for, I think I said the same, but it shouldn't be the same, it should be double. So this one, they're the same, that's not correct. This one, we do have 4 hydrogens and 2 carbons, so that would give us 2 CO2 and 2 H2O. In this one then we would get 2 carbon dioxide and 3 water, and here it would be 1